Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach. Welcome to the radio show that features local small businesses, amazing nonprofits, and all types of inspiring stories to give strength, instill love, and provide hope within our community. It's time for Outspoken Outreach with your host, Dr. Amanda Hackford.
Welcome, everyone. We have a great show for you today, which actually is perfect for today, which is a National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So it kind of lines up with that, and you'll see why. But we have Carolyn today with us, who is the director of CERT Ministry here in our county. And I'm going to let her kind of explain what that is to you, because she'll do it way better than me. I think it's amazing. But I want to say thank you for coming, because I'm excited about this. I think it's so great. But we're going to let them know just kind of what, in general, CERT Ministry is first, for most of the people that may be watching or listening that don't know what it is.
Okay. First of all, thank you for letting me be here today. CERT Ministry is Christian Emergency Readiness Training Ministry. And during my time in non-retirement world, I was actually emergency manager, coordinator for the city and county of Denver. And I asked God when I retired, what am I going to do now? Yeah. And he came right out and said, well, you're going to keep doing what you're doing, and you're not going to get paid for it. Exactly. And that's like, oh, so awesome. Exactly. Because I would explain to my friends that I would do my job for free. And that is exactly what my husband and I are doing now. And so,
and kind of tell the people what that job is, because some people don't know what that means or what that is.
Right. What it is that with CERT Ministry, we do outreach and education and training for the general public, for high school students. Let's see. We also go to churches and try to educate the ushers. Okay. And people within the church, how to defend and how to make sure that they're safe all the time. And it's emergency preparedness for faith-based organizations. Right.
And then also I think we talked about this before, is that a lot of people will say, well, how is she the right person, or how is she qualified to do this, to train us to be prepared in an emergency situation? And you have the answer for that.
Yes, I do. When I was with the city and county of Denver, I was also a terrorist liaison officer, and recognized by the White House for outreach, community preparedness hero, and a champion of change. In the geographical area, I had over 3 million people that I had to educate and and get the word out to. In Colorado, it was more snowstorms. Here in Florida, it's hurricanes. And one of the things that we do is active shooter survival. And we'll talk a little more about that later. And we train people with disability because of the fact that I was in emergency management. I needed to know what the people with disabilities needed, so I went and got the certificate for people with disabilities and access and functional needs.
Yes. So there's a lot. So you have a lot of experience. You know exactly what you're doing, and now you're out there doing it. But you're doing it as a nonprofit to help these, for obviously for free. And then there's another component that you have that's really neat, which is the quilting part. And I just want people to know a little bit about that too, just because it's really awesome what you do for the service dogs and the canine dogs for law enforcement when they pass or retire, one or the other, obviously. So you can tell them a little bit about that, but that is really cool.
Well, during the pandemic in 2020, and during the time that it was very challenging for officers and law enforcement who was working to try to keep the community settled, we had a canine in Indian River County who retired, and his name was Kobe, and his handler was Brian. And when we talked over the fence, because he was my next door neighbor, I found out that they weren't doing anything for Kobe for his retirement and the community service that he had done all of his life. So I drew up 3 designs, and I asked Brian which one he would like. And then 3 months later, we were at the memorial for the dogs in Indian River County, and we had Kobe, and we celebrated his life and service to the county, to the community. And so we gave him and presented him a quilt, Canine Quilt of Honor is what it's called. Yes. And we presented him with the canine quilt and honored him, Kobe, and the handler.
And I've seen this. You've shown me the pictures, and you've shown me, and you're in the process of making more. And they are beautiful, and it's such a nice. It's really such a nice thing to do, especially for they've done a lot of hard work. These are officers out there, but with 4 legs, so they deserve it. And I think on the screen we have a picture showing showing the quilts, but those are amazing. And you do these for any canine that retire, or if they pass, like they've been killed in the line of duty, or they pass away, I think is what you were telling me.
During the line of duty.
Okay, so if they're killed in the line of duty or when they retire.
Right.
And then, which is just amazing. And then also with that, I think if we did have their website up also, which is CERTministry.com, CERT ministry.com, for anyone that wants to go there, check out all the things they do, look at the website, ways that, you can help, and all the different things that are going on. But back to what we were talking about there, if you had something to add, I know you were.
Yeah. And we also do honor military war dogs.
Yes.
We had a young man who has a tattoo of a Labrador on his shoulder, and I told him to tell me the story, and he told me the story, and he lost his dog to a bomb in Afghanistan in 2012. Well, 2022, 10 years later, we are honoring him, and we honored him over at the park in Sebastian, and it was amazing. There wasn't a dry eye in the crowd.
No, I'm sure not.
It was just so pleasing to be able to honor a military service person and the handler and the dog at the same time. Exactly. It was just incredible.
Exactly. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. I think it's great. And you're putting so much work and effort into there. Are you in need of any help as far as volunteers, or obviously monetary, a nonprofit always needs monetary help, or both, or just one? What do you need?
Yes. Well, monetary is nice. But we do recruit quilters.
Okay.
There's over 30,000 canines who work in law enforcement in the United States. And one of the things is I can't do it all by myself. Mm-hmm. And we need to be able to recruit some of the quilters to be able to help us
to help make those quilts. So if they're interested in that, if you're somebody who can quilt or have experience quilting, unlike me, because I wouldn't be able to help you quilt, but maybe do cutting or something. But if you want to help in any way, then the website is a good place, or is there a number to contact that is better, or is the website just a good place to start?
The website has our contact information.
Okay, perfect.
And if you want to go to on Facebook, there is Canine Quilt of Honor, and you can put that in and get the information about the Quilt of Honor. Okay,
perfect. So Canine Quilt of Honor Facebook page, or the CERTministry.com website, and then go to the tab of that says Canine, and you can find any information you need, contact information, in order to volunteer, and also to, if you want to help just monetarily in order to purchase the things they need to make these quilts to honor the handlers and the service dogs that have retired or gotten killed, maybe in the line of duty. So there's so much that you do too. As far as doing the training portion that you do, how did someone come to you that may, like a church or a school or somebody that may want this training? Is there any requirements, or do they just come and ask? And how does that work?
It's just an ask.
Okay.
We're going to be working with the Elks Club,
Okay.
Elks Community Services, and their outreach program, and we're doing 2 different programs for them. I did get a phone call because of the publicity on the surviving an active shooter from 2 counties south of us,
Okay.
to come do one for homeschool kids
Okay.
and homeschool teenagers. And I thought that was an amazing thing of progression. Yes. That we could be able to do that.
Yeah.
We also have a disaster ready club, and we're going to be working with the Elks during spring break and having a program for high school students from 9th to 12th grade. And they have to be, and they get 24 hours of community service. So if they need some more community service to graduate, or they want to put it on their resume for college, this gives them the opportunity to do that.
So they come and attend during spring break,
Mm-hmm.
The high school kids, and they're there during that week for that training.
Right.
That's a really cool thing to do too, and that's in Indian River County.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, through the Elks Club.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I have set up the website where you can do online training. And there is quite a few online trainings for faith-based organizations, for individuals, and even business owners to be able to identify what they need to do for continuity of operations to make sure that they make it through a disaster event. I didn't write the material. All I did was gather it all up,
Okay.
put it in one place. So it would be very easy to obtain through the website.
Right, just compose it, and then that's the resource for them.
Right.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of resource information. We also have a video information page that you can pull the information off the video or off that page and show it to employees, show it to volunteers. So we have the opportunity to be able to educate more and more folks.
Very nice. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back from the break, we're going to talk even more about some events coming up that you guys are going to have, so that people can be aware of those if they want to come, support, help, and more about even what you do as well. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Southern Tees is the place to go for your in-house screen printing, embroidery, sublimation, and so much more. Southern Tees does license plates, stickers, and even vinyl lettering on boats and vehicles. Southern Tees can even do custom promotional items and products too. Don't forget to come check out the gift shop. Southern Tees, 1624 US 1 Sebastian. Call 772-918-3350 or get a quote online at southerntees.biz.
Don't sweat in your boxers. Call the AC Doctors at 344-3944.
York, install confidence. Contact the AC Doctors, acdoctorsinc.com. One of the most honored musicals of the American theater. Don't miss Men of La Mancha at Riverside Theater. Winner of 5 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Man of La Mancha is a powerful, funny, and heartbreaking musical. This story celebrates the perseverance of one man who refuses to relinquish his ideals and who is determined to see life not as it is, but as it ought to be. Inspired by the masterpiece Don Quixote. Don't miss Man of La Mancha, now through January 22nd at Riverside Theater. Get tickets at riversidetheater.com.
For 67 years, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware has been here for the people of Vero Beach. Through ups, downs, even hurricanes, Sturgis stands tall, 4 generations strong. Open weekday mornings at 7. Don't go west. Stick with the best. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Hackford Landscaping is the full-scale tree service hardscape and landscape company that will do any outdoor job. Call Hackford Landscaping for tree trimming, tree injections, and removal. Services include landscape design, stump grinding, paver stone projects such as walkways, patios, and pool decks, landscape lighting, irrigation, hedge and bush shaping, flowers, trees, shrubs, rocks, sand, mulch and sod, and more. Any outdoor job, large or small, give Hackford a call. 772-584-7364. Online at hackfordtreeservice.com.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's New Year's sale time. We're clearing our warehouses to make room for new styles, and this means you can save on selected in-stock furniture from Lloyd Flanders, Beechcraft, Windward, Riverside, Universal, Capri, Telescope, and more. Sofas, dining sets, patio groups, occasional chairs, cabinets, bedroom sets, tables, lots of pieces on sale for inside and out. At Sunshine Furniture, we have the largest selection of coastal furniture anywhere, including a gallery of Lexington, Tommy Bahama Home, and Universal Coastal Living collections. Visit Sunshine Furniture now for our New Year sale. Also, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com, and don't forget to shop our outlet and sales store just across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Welcome back. We're so glad you stayed with us. We have CERT Ministry here with us today. You heard all about them in the beginning, and we're going to continue to tell you about some events they have coming up. And first, I'm going to let Carolyn tell you about the first event. Both are in January, so it's just in time for you to be able to participate and join. The first event I'll let you share with them. And then you're going to hear, you won't be able to see, but we have audio going with Carolyn's husband, Rudy. So go ahead and tell us.
And our first program that we're doing in coordination with the Community Project Committee over at the Sebastian Elks Club is surviving an active shooter. We look at the fact of what to do, how to make things happen and survive that type of event. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rudy and let him explain, because he's our primary instructor.
Yes.
For that. And we'll go ahead and let him talk.
Yes, so we're going to hear from Rudy. So Rudy's our instructor for this. So, we do have him on soon. Here you go. Welcome. Go ahead.
Well, thank you for inviting us. I'm the primary instructor for the Surviving an Active Shooter class. As you've paid attention to what's happening in the news every day,
yeah,
there seems to be a shooting incident at a mall, a store, a business place, a church, and those are just the way the life is right now. And one of the terms is anytime, any place. Yes. It can happen.
Sure.
And what we're trying to do is just raise the awareness of your surroundings. When you go to a public event, you go out to eat, you go to the grocery store, the door you enter is not necessarily your exit in an emergency, so be looking for ways to get out. And the primary thrust is run, hide, fight. That's the theme of surviving an active shooter. If you have the ability to leave the area quickly, safely, and do that. If not, hide, and how to hide so you won't be detected. And as a last resort, fight, and fight with all your might to neutralize the person. Just a little bit of background. I spent 22 years in the Air Force and teaching and dealing with situations. Back in '71, I was walking back to my barracks with some of my friends from the bowling alley, and we were jumped by a group of 9 people. It started, they wanted to fight, and the one that jumped me pulled out a gun and shot me 3 times, and shot my buddy twice. Of course, I survived, as did Tom, but you just don't know when it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, you never know. So you've got a lot of experience as well. And both of you, anyone who has a nonprofit, it has something close to their heart, which makes them have this nonprofit. So both of you have something close to you that makes you continue to want to do this. It's your purpose. Obviously, God's called you to do this, or you wouldn't be doing this as well. Because we all have a calling and a purpose. Sometimes they change, and our seasons change, and our callings change. But right now, this is yours. So we thank you for doing that and continuing to do what God's led you to do. But we also have another event we want to share real quick that's coming up in January as well. And that one is, aside from the active shooter one, January 30th. Mm-hmm.
And it is emergency preparedness for people with disabilities and their caregivers.
Good.
And that particular program will take you through steps of how to prepare, where to go, what to take with you.
Very good. That one's nice. And where is that one at? The same?
It's at the same location.
Okay, so they're both at the same location, just two different dates. So you can, there's the active shooter, and then there's the preparedness with people that have disabilities, or our caregivers with people that have disabilities. So two different dates. The first one was January 23rd, and the second was January 30th. Just wanted to you can go right online too and find those as well. And before we end, we just have a couple more minutes. Is there any last minute things that either of you would like to share before we end the show?
When you talk about the emotional part of this significant emotional event that happens, mine was working Hurricane Andrew. So when I was working, it was very heartwarming and very heart tugging to people who actually get through those events, those emergency events.
Absolutely, yeah. We see somebody sometimes with nothing, losing everything, and then coming through as well too, with the help of other people and people doing what they're supposed to do. We thank you very much for coming too. So for both of you and doing the instructing and things that you are doing. But if you have interest, please go online. Please go to CERT Ministry. Check out their website. Check out their events. If you have it in your heart to help, because it definitely takes more than just one or two people doing this, and it takes money to continue to do it. And it's something that's very important with the trainings, but also with the quilts of honor, with these to honor these the canine dogs, and also the military service dogs, and all the wonderful things that they're doing. So we just want you to check them out. Even if you just have some curiosity and want to just read more about it and get more info, you can contact them. If you have any questions as well that you want to know, to maybe spark your interest, or answer anything that we haven't went over during the show that you may want to know about as well. So we thank you for watching. We thank you very much. And we just want to always, if you have any last minute things that you want to say, Rudy, before we go off.
And one of the things I didn't mention earlier, I told about that I was shot in an incident, but I lost my mother, father, and middle sister to a home invasion. They were murdered in Phoenix in January of '89. And somebody came through the back door and beat him to death.
So I'm sorry to hear that. But is that where that passion or motivation kind of comes on, to help others to not have to deal with that? So we've all got a story. Everybody, I think, has a story. So we need to be kind of compassionate to others, and then find what helps us to help others. And it's always different. Everybody's is different. But we just want to thank you guys for today. And so go to CERT Ministry, check them out, and help if you can, if that's something in your heart that you want to help. And thank you again. And as always, stay safe and stay blessed.